You know what this is, a shipment from CGC, which means it's time for another unboxing video. My name is Jim, I'm with CGC Sports Illustrated. I love doing these unboxing videos, and this one it's got something for everyone. You're gonna wanna stick around for this whole video. I've got modern Sports Illustrated issues. I've got vintage Sports Illustrated issues. In fact, I came into a small but very nice vintage Sports Illustrated collection recently. I picked several select of what I thought were maybe the most interesting or the best ones out of that to send in with this batch, so we'll get to those. Got a Slam magazine in this issue, in this shipment. I've got football, basketball, hockey, baseball, even soccer. There is something for everyone in this unboxing video. You guys know the rules and how I do this. I do not look at the grades in advance. I know exactly what these issues are, but I don't know what grades they got. So I'm gonna go through all this packing here. I'm gonna get these set up correctly from back to front while not peeking. Want to make sure I know what I've got. Get this packaging out of the way. Which way we go here? Okay, so let's go. 10 slabs. Tons of fun here. Issue number 1. Well, a lot to unpack here. If you've seen my other unboxing videos, you know that 9.6 is my absolute least favorite grade in the entire world. That makes absolutely no sense, but it's how I feel, and that's just the way it is. And that's because it is so close to a 9.8. So close to a 9.8, but not. And so I'm a little concerned that we're starting off this video with my least favorite grade of 9.8. Let's talk about this. This is Slam magazine. Which I'm totally getting into Slam magazine and really interested in some of the special issues. This is Luka Doncic. This is not his first cover, but this is a variant. There were at least 2 different covers produced by Slam magazine this week, and talked about variants a lot lately. That makes this issue much more rare than it normally would have been. This is Slam magazine issue number 230. This is from February 2021. This is not a metal edition. Recently, in the last year or so, Slam magazine, for example, this is the normal regular issue, but then on their website, they would sell these highly limited edition metal versions, black metal, gold metal, red metal, and it's different for each one. Like the Jordan one, I think they had at least 3 or 4 different metal versions with different population counts. 1 out of 60, 1 out of 120 or 200 or whatever. So there is a Slam metal version of this Luka Doncic issue. This is not the metal version. This is just the normal, monthly edition of the magazine. Okay, so maybe I shouldn't be too upset with the 9.6 because this is a pop 1 of 1 but none higher. There's a 9.4, there's 3 9.0s, an 8.5. I think there's some others out there. I am a huge Luka Doncic fan. I happened to be in Dallas with my daughter a couple of years ago for the college football playoffs. And night before the football game, Mavs happened to be in town. And so we went to the game and Luka lit the place up. Dropped a ton of points on. He was doing no-look passes behind the back. I mean, he was amazing. And ever since that night, I think it was 2019, I've just been a big, huge Luka Doncic fan. So, I hate the 9.6, but I love me some Luka Doncic. And pop 101, none higher. Interesting. I like that we started off with the Slam magazine. That's kind of a little different. You guys know I'm a Sports Illustrated guy, but I love pretty much any vintage magazine. That's just kind of cool. All right, interesting start. Next up. Okay. 9.4. Okay, so this is, I'm a soccer fan a little bit of a soccer fan. Another story about my daughter. She played youth soccer and high school soccer and varsity soccer when she was younger. And so it kind of got me into soccer. Never been a soccer guy before that, but because of her, watched a little English Premier League, watched the World Cup and that sort of stuff. So I got a little bit of love for soccer. there are a handful of big soccer stars. There's Ronaldo, there's Messi, there's Harry Kane, and there's Neymar. So this is Neymar's first Sports Illustrated cover. This is from August 7th, 2017. Got a 9.4 on it. Not bad. Difficult cover to get in a really high grade, and I've talked about this a lot before. Modern issues, especially the spine, is where you end up having flaws and getting downgraded. That's like a full color on the front and kind of a dark blue there. So that makes, flaking very easy to detect. It's like when you got a black car. And people say, don't get a black car because it shows all the dirt, all the imperfections show. Same thing with dark colors on Sports Illustrated. Whenever you see a dark color, it makes it hard because all those imperfections show, and you've got a dark color along the back spine too. So this is really hard to get in a high grade. So 9.4 is pretty good. It's a pop 101, none higher. There's 2 9.2s, there's an 8.5, and a few others out there. And this is Neymar's first Sports Illustrated cover. So 2 pop 101s, none higher for the first 2 slabs. Not too shabby. Kind of fun there. And I'll take it, even though neither of them were 9.8s. All right, let's go. Next one. Here's another 9.6. Okay, Dak Prescott's first Sports Illustrated cover. I've owned this cover before. I did have the only 9.8 in the world, and there's still only one 9.8 in the world. I did sell that one. There are, before this, there were 8 9.6s, now 9. There's a bunch of 9.4s. There's a bunch graded below that. When Dak is healthy, he is amazing, and he's having a great year this year for the Cowboys, and I'm a big Dak Prescott fan. Loved him when he was at Mississippi State, and a lot of fun. And I think if he can stay healthy, he's got a shot at just being a great quarterback for the next several years. So 9.6. Okay, let's move on quickly to the next one before I get too caught up in the 9.6. Okay, I can already tell because of the back, this is one of the vintage issues. Got a couple of vintage issues that are first covers of huge superstars that I'm really excited about. And this is obviously the first one. So take a look, fingers crossed. Okay. This I will take. This was a great collection that I found. There wasn't a whole lot there that were newsstand. But man, they were really vintage. 54, 55, 56, 57. Really old issues. There were a handful of newsstands, and there were a handful of big superstars. This is one of them. This is Bob Cousy's first Sports Illustrated cover. You can see that I got it graded at an 8.5. I'm going to say I'm a little disappointed in that. I was hoping for that 9.0, and the reason is there's one other 8.5. So this is a pop 1 of 2, none higher, Bob Cousy, first cover. I mean, this is fantastic. This is from January 9th, 1956. Bob Cousy's stats are incredible. 6-time NBA champion. Number 14 retired by the Boston Celtics. He was just on some amazing Boston Celtics teams back in the day. Like I said, there's another 8.5, pop 1 of 2, none higher. A couple 8.0s, a 7.5, and a bunch other after that. So pretty happy with this. Of course, I always want the pop 101, none higher. But an 8.5 in Bob Cousy's first Bob Cousy cover. I'll talk about this as well. I'm going to zoom in here, and hopefully you can see this. You can see where it says first cover. It says first Bob Cousy cover. Trying to make sure that focuses there. Right there. That was not part of the slab label, and that was not in the CGC census until I sent this in. If you want to know more about that, go watch my video about, it's about a month ago, on variants and first covers. Us as collectors have a responsibility to make sure that CGC knows what's a first cover, what's a variant, what's special about this issue, and we've got to tell them that. Because if we don't tell them, they're just going to slab it and, move on. So I went through the procedures. I put the sticky note on here when it was raw and said, hey, this is Bob Cousy's first cover. Please put it on the slab and update the census. I wrote the note on the packing slip as well, and they went ahead and did it. And I don't always do that, but they did it on this one, and I'm pretty thankful because this is a really important cover. I mean, it's Bob Cousy, Boston Celtics, Pop 1 of 2, none higher. His first cover, 1956. Go watch that first cover and variants video, because it really is our responsibility to make sure that CGC has all the information that they should have. Another vintage issue here. Part of that collection I got. It could be big. This could be big. Because this is I know this is an issue this looks like an issue from the 50s based on an ad in the back, so I think I know which cover this is. And I'm really hoping this is going to be a big home run. We're going to find out right now. Oh no, this isn't the issue I thought, but still awesome. Okay. This one is from the late 60s, early 70s. Okay. No. This is great. I'm thrilled. That's Lou Alcindor. Another video I did featured Lou Alcindor. This was a few months ago, about the worst first covers. In my opinion, I think Lou Alcindor's first cover is the worst first cover in the world. I'm not going to go into that. Go back and watch the video on that. But it's a terrible first cover. His leg is on the cover. That's it. You can't even see his face. So I talk about how when they've got a terrible first cover, that second cover becomes even more collectible. This is the Lou Alcindor I want. I don't want the Lou Alcindor first cover. It's terrible. His face isn't even on it. This is the one I want. This is his second cover. This is from April 1st, 1968. This 9.0 is a Pop 1 of 1, none higher. There's a couple of 8.0s. There's a couple of 7.0s. Man, I am over the moon with this one. Again, part of that vintage collection that I just, got my hands on. There were some big superstars in there. This is, man, this is awesome. This is awesome. This is a great cover. He's doing the sky hook. He's got his UCLA Bruins uniform on. Oh, that's a beautiful cover. I'm thrilled. Thrilled. Lou Alcindor. All right. That's awesome. Awesome. And making up for a couple of those 9.6s that we got. All right, I'm not quite sure if this is the other, well, we'll see. Apparently, I thought I had the one issue I'm waiting. There's one issue in this whole box that I'm waiting for. Haven't seen it yet, and I'm waiting for it. I don't know if this is it or not, but we'll find out. Oh, what happened? Oh, I had such high hopes for 6.0. Oh, that's terrible. I knew it wasn't in great shape. I didn't think it was a 6.0. That seems aggressively low. Okay, let's talk about this a little bit. This is Will Chamberlain on the Lakers. Not his first cover, not his second cover. Those were with the 76ers. Not even his first cover with the Lakers. This is his second cover with the Lakers. This is from May 15th, 1972. I'm a big basketball fan. And love the old guys. Man, love Kareem and Wilt and Cousy and Russell and Oscar Robertson and all those guys. So this was really interesting. I'm disappointed in the grade. I think my pre-grade estimate on this was about a 7, so I was pretty far off. In fact, it might have even been a 7.5. I was way off on this one. So not only am I disappointed in the grade, I'm disappointed in my pre-grading skills on this. But still a really interesting cover. Another interesting thing, it's the only graded issue in existence. So a 6.0 is a Pop 1 of 1, none higher. Now, won't stay that way for long, I'm sure, although these issues are really tough to find, obviously. It's, from 1972. It's 50 years old. But it's a good-looking cover. It's a good-looking picture of Wilt. He's in his Lakers uniform. You can see that number 13 there. It's a cool cover. 6 stinks, but it's the only one in the world. The highest graded one and the only one in the world. 6.0. And it's freaking Wilt Chamberlain. So I can't be too disappointed in that. All right, next up. Let's see what we got here. I got 1, 2, 3, 4 left. 4 left, including this one. And some really interesting ones. Heavy on the vintage. Like I told you, that vintage collection I got was special. It was really, really nice. This is the one. This is the one I was waiting for. And wouldn't you know, it comes back at a 9.6. I'm going to need a minute to gather my thoughts because I've got a massive range of emotions going right now. And in some ways, I am absolutely thrilled to death. And as I'm sure you're well aware, in other ways, I'm livid. This is probably the worst 9.6 that I've ever gotten. Okay, let's talk about it. This is Yogi Berra's first Sports Illustrated cover. This is from July 11th, 1955. I'm going to zoom in again. By the way, it says right there in the notes, first Yogi Berra cover. It was not there until I sent this one in. I did the proper labeling on it. I was really hoping for a 9.8 on this. I thought this had a real shot at it. I knew it had one little small spine tick that broke color right by the staple. Sometimes those will slide by the graders. This one didn't. Why did I want that 9.8? Well, it's a freaking 9.8 of Yogi Berra's first cover, but it also would have been a pop 1 of 1, none higher. Instead, it's a pop 1 of 2, none higher. Until today, there was one 9.6. Now there's two 9.6s. There's a 9.4, there's an 8.5, couple 8.5s, there's a bunch under there. An 8.5 just sold on Heritage, like in the last month or two, I think for $1,100. I really wanted a 50s first cover of a superstar at 9.8, and this is the closest I'd ever come to any issue that I've ever had in my hands. I was really hoping for that 9.8. Once I get over that, I'm going to be thrilled. I'm going to be happy with this. This is an amazing copy to have. Sports Illustrated did this way back in the 50s. They did it a couple of times in modern times, but not as often. They did it a lot back then. Super tight close-ups of the athletes. I thought it was really cool. Just very intimate, just their whole face on the cover. And I love the fact that you can see he's got his old school catcher's mask on here. I mean, it's Yogi Berra, 8-time All-Star, 13-time World Series champion, number 8 retired by the Yankees, Hall of Fame, one of the greatest catchers of all time. It's Yogi Berra. It's a 9.6. I am completely irrationally unhappy with this because it's a 9.6. I will hopefully get over that soon and come to the realization that this is a freaking amazing collectible. I'm not there yet. Let's move on. I'm happy. I'm being a little dramatic, but I'm still kind of pissed. Okay, next one up. Oh, that stinks. Oh, that stinks. This issue had a lot of problems. Oh, that's too bad. Cool issue. Bobby Orr, Sportsman of the Year. This is his 4th Sports Illustrated cover. It's from December 21st, 1970. Again, part of that vintage collection that I bought. I love Bobby Orr. I'm kind of a vintage hockey guy. I like vintage hockey, although I'm a Blackhawks guy. I got mad props for Bobby Orr and the Bruins and what they did back in the day. Lots of these out there. There's an 9.4, there's an 8.5, an 8.0. There's 7s and 7.5s. 6.0, not great. I knew this issue had problems. I was thinking more like a 7.0. Why are we always so overly optimistic? Even me, having graded thousands of these and been doing this for years, I still am overly optimistic too much in my self-grading, and that's a bummer. Fun issue to have, but was really hoping for something better than a 6.0. Let's see if we can make up for that on this one. 6.5. Yeah, again, this one I was projecting at about a 7.0. So this is, again, Bobby Orr. This is his 3rd cover, so this came out right before the last one we saw. This is from May of 1970. There's a 9.0, there's a 6.0. I'm sorry, there's a 9.0, there's a 7.0, and then this 6.5. I think there's a few graded below that, but not a whole lot of these. But again, respect what Bobby Orr was all about and the Bruins of those days. I just really like vintage hockey. I'm disappointed in that grade at a 6.5. But it's a fun issue. Okay. I feel like there's been more disappointment on my end than there should be, although those last two Bobby Orr weren't great. We're going to change that right now. Maybe. Fingers crossed. Last one. Another vintage issue. This was heavy on the vintage. There were a few moderns in there. I'm glad those moderns came back pretty well. That Luka was nice. The Neymar, the Dak Prescott, those were all really nice. And the home, I mean, the Yogi Berra 9.6 was the home run of the lot. But again, like I said, it's going to take me time to get over that. The surprise was that Alcindor second cover at 9.0, smashing the record for the highest ever graded. I mean, that one's fabulous. See if we can do it again. Let's see if we can do even better on the last one here. Okay. Man, I was hoping for a 9 on this one. This is Stan Musial's first cover. So this is Sports Illustrated from March 5th, 1956. Stan Musial's first cover. This is also Wally Moon's first cover. Wally wasn't a Hall of Famer, but he was a good player there for the Cardinals for a number of years. Stan Musial is amazing, and the Cardinals are one of the most storied franchises in all of baseball. Stan Musial was a 24-time All-Star, 3-time World Series champ, 3-time MVP, number 6 retired by the Cardinals, Hall of Fame, maybe the greatest Cardinals player ever, and that is a statement. That is saying something. And a good cover, and I'm happy with this one. I was really hoping for a 9, but an 8.5 I'll take. I think that's fair. Let me preface this. Except maybe for that Wilt Chamberlain 6.0, I think, which I'm looking into a little bit more. I think all these grades have been fair. I was just overly optimistic. Lots of these graded, not many at this level though. There is a 9.2. Before today, there were 5 8.5s. Now there's 6. There's a couple 8.0s. There's a ton graded below that. These vintage issues are almost impossible to get in a high grade. So at 8.5, I really am really happy with this because it's the second highest graded ever of a massive superstar like Stan Musial. And it's a fun cover, kind of an action shot there with all of their gloves up and that sort of stuff. This is a spring training issue from March of 1956. So I am happy with that one. Good unboxing video. That was fun. I like the fact that there was so much different stuff in there. Football, basketball, baseball, hockey, soccer, modern, vintage, Slam magazine. That one was real fun and a roller coaster ride of emotions for me. I was all over the place on that one. Follow me on social media. Subscribe to my podcast. Subscribe to my YouTube. Guys, drop a comment. I'm here to help. If you got questions about this hobby, if you're just getting started, drop a comment. Let me know how I can help. And thanks for watching.